Hey, welcome guys back to the channel. Maverick here, ready for another episode of Carole and Tuesday. And Angela too, since, well, last episode we were kind of right in the thick of Angela's story. She's really losing it. She needs to get her act together. Currently abusing drugs and all that. Let's see if Tao is actually going to turn out to be her knight in shining armor, right? Whereas on the other hand, Carole and Tuesday, they've had their luck go on the uptrend for a while now, and apparently they're about to do a collaboration with Crystal, who is, I guess, the equivalent of this world's Beyonce or something like that, right? A big deal here. So beyond that, we also still we're 3 episodes till the end, and we still have the entire political situation with Villari that we still haven't resolved yet. Spencer is now working as a sort of spy along with Kyle to see what's actually happening and maybe out Jerry, the advisor. How's it gonna go? Don't know. Let's find out together. Alright, as usual, skip the opening and the intro, and let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Don't do drugs, kids. I mean, if you... Oh. Okay. Carole Tuesday are moving up in the world now. Okay, so Crystal actually also wants to... Okay, I like this. I mean, isn't that what they just did the last episode with that song? Their ender to the album? You literally just sang about that last episode! But I guess I need to write yet another one, right? Mm. Well, they can't do anything. Yeah, she's been down on her luck lately. Yay. Get to work, girls. So he wants to expose them. Is she actually going to regain her spark by listening to Carole Tuesday's song? No, no, never mind. That doesn't really make sense. It's probably gonna have to be something to do with Tao. I wonder how long they took on it. It seems like they're more... never mind, never mind. Not really much to comment on here if they're not actually going through, showing us what they're actually doing. I mean, assume here that they're just trying to get all the keywords out and then match the chords, tone, and whatnot, the melody that invokes those same feelings in the song. You... was Angela always this kind of character, though? Good job, yay! No, AI. Oh, dang. So Kyle is doing his own independent investigation on that as well. Oh, yeah. Happy birthday to you. Okay. Nice. I almost completely forgot about this. Huh. A snow globe. If we think about that, the opening, the introduction, right? It also kind of feels similar to a snow globe. Huh. Hmm. Interesting. Oh, she's still in a coma? Dang. What? Okay, never mind. It wasn't a coma. Zoom. What? Damn. I was not expecting that. Right before. Oh, Gus actually looks good. Looking sharp as well. Hey, I'm more worried about Angela right now. Okay. So I'll probably see their performance this episode. Woo! Is that a Nick? I mean, sorry. Is that a Keanu Reeves reference? Okay, Angela can't perform now. Wow. I mean, I'm sure they rehearsed prior to this, right? After the fire. Alright. Mute is on. Let's see how this song is. It's quite refreshing to see them just singing. Who's here? Angela? Yep. Ah, there we go. Crystal. Very nice harmonization. Maybe a little bit repetitive on the lyrics. But I do like the melody. Dash. S-kill. Los Sinclair. Hmm. Is she even... What is she going to do? True. Here, here. Look at her eyes. So Angela, right? Angela won. I mean, that's to be expected. Oh. Yeah, she's... She's completely off. I mean, it's ever so slightly off, but not not completely horrible. So. Huh. I don't know if I'm not sure if this is like I don't like is this deliberately written? The song's deliberately written this way? Or is she just giving this performance of, you know, dang. Huh. Alrighty, so that was quite the ending, right? And I do believe that that's probably the first thing that we need to talk about in regards to this episode, because, you know, whatever misgivings I have in regards to the series as a whole, I think we can all agree that that ending scene was stellar, right? Absolutely stellar in terms of the transition, the animation, and of course the you know, the song in the background with its lyrics and its sort of you know, deliberate dissonance, I guess you could say, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But let's talk first about the animation, right? I really liked how they used the sort of first person's perspective through Angela, and with, you know, drifting in and out of consciousness, right? Like opening her eyelids and shutting them again, and then within those moments that she's opening her eyes, showing the surroundings, showing the what's around her, what kind of things she's being faced with, and all that. And of course, we also got this sort of you know, the contrast between the contrast of her vision, like going blurry and then getting back into focus again. You know, that part, I love it. It reminds me a lot of some more old school anime in a sense, which, you know, considering this is Watanabe, it's kind of a given. But you know, that was great. That was very, very great animation in that point, and it just fit the scene perfectly, right? So 2 thumbs up for that part. The song itself, that's actually also very interesting, right? Because when she started singing up on the Grammys, I was thinking, oh, that's neat. They're actually making her sing out of tune deliberately in order to create this feeling of, hey, there's something weird going on. There's something wrong with her, right? And I thought she was going to basically put on a botched performance, a failed performance of some sort. I didn't actually expect her to collapse midway through the song. But then, since the song continued to go on, then I was a little bit, you know, I'm a little bit undecided now. Perhaps this song is specifically written to have these sort of, I guess, dissonant notes within them. The best way I can describe it is, like, for instance, let's say the notes should be like 1 full step away, and then they deliberately write it to be a half step away, right? Just to deliberately create this dissonance. A good example of this is from classical music, one of Chopin's etudes, Black Keys. That one is also, you know, when you listen to the beginning part of it, you just feel like something is off, right? Humans, even those who don't know music theory and whatnot, you know, we know what sounds good and what sounds off, right? Generally speaking, we do. And so I feel like that's sort of what they were going for here. Now, again, I'm not really entirely sure if it was actually a singer deliberately singing a bit off key on purpose, or the song was specifically written to be sort of off key, and then having the singer sing it that way. Because the reason I say this is because when you actually hear the song a few more times, you can find that even like you're expecting this note, right? And instead it gives you this note. But at the end of the day, it still managed to come together into a coherent piece of music. And so that's why I feel like perhaps this was actually deliberate, not on the singer's part, but on the composer's part. And I guess we can only really know about this once they release the full version in the vocal collection or whatnot, and then we can see if this was indeed how the song was composed, or was it actually the singer herself who deliberately, tried to sing it wrong, right? Which is also very hard in of itself. So yeah, and that was that part. And indeed, it did give the desired effect of creating this sort of just this feeling of dissonance, right? And I guess haunting in a sort of way. And anyways, great atmosphere in regards to that song. We go back and think of Carole Tuesday's song, and well, honestly, it was nice. I didn't quite like it as much as last episode's ending song. The song that was played within the church on the pipe organ and whatnot. But I dig it. It's one of their more rare songs which actually have at least fuller instrumentation instead of just being very bare bones with just a acoustic guitar and a keyboard, right? So I did like that. What I didn't like, however, was its repetitiveness. I feel like they just repeated the same parts over and over and over again a little bit too much, right? And also, going back to the last episode as well, literally the last song that they composed was something that gave people hope, right? It's sort of like a light in the dark. Literally, in the lyrics, they say it's like a light lighting up the darkness. And so, having two songs in a row being of the exact same, having the exact same theme to it sort of cheapens it a little bit, I feel. Even though, of course, you could argue that the lyrics that was in this song and the way that they wrote it, it's on a larger scale than that of the last one. But still, I feel like they're both too similar in concept to really stand out from each other, this close to each other within the series. And not to mention, honestly, my biggest I have some complaints about this episode, as I have with this entire series as a whole. But let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about first. All right. So again, back to Angela. Right. Back to Angela. I was kind of surprised, and what I was trying to say throughout the episode was I was kind of surprised that she crashed so hard throughout these two episodes. Right. Basically becoming a mess, relying on drugs, not really doing anything, and now overdosing and is in a medical emergency, right? Now, of course, you could say, hey, she just learned that her life is a lie, she has no one beside her, but if we think back to the very first few episodes, when we first learn about Angela, right, she seems to be this very strong, very strong-willed woman, very confident woman who, she's not afraid of criticism, she's not afraid of failure, she's had a successful life, and that goes with her singing as well. Even though she was unproven at that time, she had the spunk in her, right? She was just like, I'll sing whatever you give to me, bring it on, right? She was this kind of character. Throughout these past few episodes, indeed, I guess from the second court all up to now, it seems that she's constantly in this, in this sort of mood where she wants to be acknowledged, and it's not just being acknowledged by the masses. She already got a lot of success with her debut as a singer, with her record sales and whatnot, but it seems like she always wants vindication from her mom and as well from Tao as well. And I don't know, I just feel like it's a contrast to how we first met her and how we first perceive her personality. Like, how did it kind of shift into this way? Hard to say. Like from the very beginning, right? It was like she didn't even really think much about Tao. She was like, so who is this nerd? Okay, fine, you're gonna be my producer. You better be a good producer. You better give me some good songs, right? Because I will deserve the best, and I have the best talent. I will nail this song and stuff like that, right? And also in regards for mom, she was basically like, Mom, don't, you're still family and whatnot, but you abused me when you were young, and really I don't I have my own career. I don't want you to interfere with my career that much, right? So it came up as a surprise to me that she crashed so hard within these past few episodes. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a sad and tragic story. I'm just feeling like, why is there such a huge gap between how we first met her versus how she is right now? I feel like she maybe, even if she does waver a little bit or whatnot, she wouldn't, suddenly become hopeless, right? So yeah, that's that part as well. And what else? Oh, there was a sort of a reference here which I got wrong. If you guys recall, when the host of the Grammys was, he was making his usual jokes and whatnot, and then he mentioned that he had a friend in the audience, Steve. Now, upon first look, I thought that was actually Keanu Reeves, the actor, but it's actually supposed to be Steve Aoki, who is, one of the composers of this series as well. He composed the song that Erdogan and Angela collaborated on. He composed that song. He's a DJ in his own right, and so yeah, I looked at pictures and it should be a reference to him instead, not Keanu Reeves, which would be kind of random, but also awesome at the same time, right? So yeah. What else? Not really. I guess I should go back into a little of what it's a problem I have with the series as a whole, but it was also sort of shown in this episode as well, and that is how these, there's lots of events being put up, right? We're literally 22 episodes in, lots of stuff has happened. But the thing is, a lot of these events or whatnot don't really seem all that connected with each other, right? Like, take this episode, for instance. We got this entire scene, which took up at least a third of the episode, of Carole Tuesday composing a song for their collaboration with Crystal, right? Did that actually serve any kind of bigger purpose here? Yeah, sure, we got this entire thing about, how this world is going to shit, and, people should express themselves, musicians should express themselves, their feelings and whatnot through the music, and let the music bring people hope. But we literally had that exact same conversation in the last episode, as mentioned by Tuesday. And the part in regards to expressing feelings, we also had that discussion, like, way before as well, when they met that musician, bisexual musician, transgender musician. I kind of forgot the exact word for him, and I forgot his name. But the guy who who had an illness, and I believe he pretty much passed away whilst meeting Carole Tuesday. You guys remember that guy, the one in the wheelchair? We already learned of that. So what was the purpose of them doing this exact same thing and spending so much time on it actually here? It's not like, I was thinking, so perhaps once they compose this song, maybe it'll spark a little fire in Angela as well, and that's how she sort of regains her composure, something like that. But no, it had nothing to do with that. So they spent half the episode composing this song. They performed it with Crystal, and so what's next, right? What's the aftermath of that? What did it affect, if anything? Did they grow as musicians? Did they learn something new as musicians? Did this song actually affect something else? So far, all signs point to no, right? So what? And it's the same with other stuff that happened with previous episodes as well. Sure, I get it, right? Some things happen. Sometimes it's musical stuff. Sometimes it's not. How does it tie in with the entire story, right? I mean, even in a certain case, you could also argue that them creating their first album, right? Is that actually going to be important in some sort of way later on? I guess it could be a setup for them to eventually write the final song, and that one was where, they felt this world was going into a dark place, and so they want to bring some light, some hope into it. But still, since they already did that, then why have this episode, and why have this plot point, right? I don't know, it's just me. And I don't want to turn this into a rant because, obviously, I still want to enjoy the episodes, and I still look forward to how they're actually going to resolve this entire situation with just 2 episodes left in the ending. I'm still waiting to see what the heck the miracle is. That song better be damn good, I'm telling you guys. But yeah, I've been mentioning a lot of this stuff throughout all these different episodes already, and I guess I'll mention it again once I have my final review with the last episode. But still, I would have preferred much more if they, for instance, focused a little bit more on like what Tao was doing, or maybe even a little bit more in regards to learning of the the internal thoughts of Angela, or her scene with her mom, right? Like that was literally just like that. That's supposed to be a very emotional scene, and indeed it's sort of like the straw that broke the camel's back in regards to Angela. They literally just she was apparently Angela's mom was apparently unconscious for this longest time, and then suddenly she wakes up, Angela, you are not my daughter, and then instantly dies. Right? Like, come on, they couldn't like maybe give a bit more attention to that, which is a emotional scene that's really affecting one of the major characters here. Like, I really don't know where the priorities, like how they choose their priorities sometimes for this anime. But anyways, still the ending scene absolutely great, and I guess in a way you could also say that ending scene itself was worth it for this episode. Maybe not. For me, yeah, that ending scene was worth it for this episode. Alright, so yeah, there we go. That's my review of Carole Tuesday episode 22. Hope I'll see you guys next week as well. Bye bye.